Chapter 2 time! That was an hour and 30 minutes? Jesus. March 1868. By spring, the Shinsengumi renamed themselves the Koyo Regulatory Company and set off in a Quack!
Yeah.
Hi.
What happened?
Quack.
Quacks.
Yeah.
Quackity quack quack quack.
You brought the quacks.
Yes.
By spring, the Shinsengumi renamed themselves the Koyo Regulatory Company and set off in a convoy headed for Kofu Castle. Nearly 200 men filed into neatly organized lines, including their new recruits and shogunate reinforcements for the long, arduous trek to Kofu. As for myself, because of my interaction with my father, it was decided that it was unsafe for me to remain in Edo, and so I joined their convoy. What made this particular battle special was that Nagakura, as well as the rest of the Fury Corps, was allowed to accompany us. Although Nagakura briefed the Shinsengumi on his interaction with my father in Edo, he conveniently left out the details regarding the use of his powers or his cries of anguish towards the end of their encounter. Ever since that day, Nagakura and I hadn't had much of an opportunity to speak about it, let alone have any one-on-one discussions at all. It was like both of us intuitively kept the situation under wraps, which left me in a precarious rut. Every time I saw Nagakura, my heart ached with pity. We're in chapter 2.
Oh, let's go!
The Koyo Regulatory Company had one major situation to deal with once our convoy reached Hachioji. A rural region of Edo, from which Kondo Hijikata... what? There should be a comma there.
What?
A rural region of Edo from which Kondo-san and Hijikata-san had originally hailed. While the rest of the troop, which included myself and the rest of the captains, were eagerly moving onward to Kofu. Kondo-san had remained in his hometown, Tama, and was adamant about staying put for the time being. Tama, a quaint agricultural region west of Edo. Both Kondo-san and Hijikata-san hail from here, having developed aspirations to become warriors instead of joining their families as farmers.
近藤さんは多摩で何やってるんだよ。宴会に何日かけるつもりなんだ。
地元に錦を飾りてって気持ちはわからなくもねえだろ
う。俺は江戸に帰ったからって実家に顔出したりしなかったぜ。
それはお前が勝手に脱藩したから帰りづらかっただけだろ。
まあそうとも言うが、つうが近藤さんは浮からすぎだろ。名前をもらったとか大名になったとかガキじゃあるまいし。たく。
そう言うな。近藤さんは局長としての仕事がある。
According to his... Huh?
I was like, wait, it's not working my audio. I was thinking my audio wasn't bad.
Oh, why?
So, like, because I didn't hear it, like, talking.
Oh, yeah, because I wasn't talking because there was dialogue.
Yeah. I'm like, wait.
According to Hijikata-san, Kondo-san was fulfilling the part of his duty that include garnering moral support in shogunate villages and communities. Beyond his political obligations, Kondo-san also had an eye for talent, and he was working tirelessly to entice new recruits into joining our cause. Although there was some substance behind Nagakura's concerns, Hijikata-san was quick to cut them short.
わかってるよ。新参の大使どもを気持ちよくさせて甲府に連れてくって算段だろ。けどよ、今は行軍中なんだぜ。 時と場合ってもんがあるだろ。
Are you okay? Eh? You were cutting out. Sir? That doesn't tell me if you're okay or not.
I'm okay right now. Ah,
What the
I
fuck
was
happened?
burned. I was getting burned by my pizza.
Oh my god.
Ow. That's pretty good.
Sir.
Yes.
Nagakura sped out indigently and stormed off to a nearby clearing in the forest just off the trail. I couldn't just leave Nagakura like that, so I went off running after him. I stepped carefully through the bush, navigating the dense forest quietly until I found Nagakura, sitting underneath the shadow of a tall treetop.
こんなんで本当に勝てるのかよ。
Nagakura sighed heavily, then threw a forceful punch into the nearby tree trunk, which suddenly reminded me of his demeanor back when we first arrived in Edo. Ah, the classic punch a tree when you're pissed as fuck.
You three.
Punch the tree!
Just like Minecraft.
But it's such a classic thing.
Yeah.
Punch tree. Or punch a wall when there's no tree available.
I'll punch your buddy.
That's a different thing.
That is the emergency punch.
When there's no tree or wall?
Yeah, you see. Come here, little boy. Ah.
I was overcome with concern, so I called out to him a little ways away from where he was.
Hey, bitch, are you okay?
Nagakura, is it alright if I join you?
千鶴ちゃんか。ああ、いいぜ。
Calling out to him was an impulse move, illustrated by how quickly my mind went blank afterwards. So I thought I would, as the guide says, apologize about father. It was clear that there was something beyond the situation with Kondo-san that was unsettling Nagakura, which I had taken to be his duel with father in Edo. More specifically, it was father calling him a fury that stroked the fire in his frustrations. So it was important for me to apologize on my father's behalf if I had any hope of keeping him happy. I want to apologize for the other day. You saved me, Nagakura. My father, however, was so cruel to you.
あのことは逆に忘れてほしいくらいなんだ。
What? But he was...
羅刹って言われて逆上してついカッとなっちまった。羅刹の力をもっとうまく使わないといけねえよな。
I am really, really sorry.
You father. I don't.
俺もあの時のことを
Wait.
ちゃんと謝らなくてすまなかった。
Then Nagakura's thick lips formed into a warm, inviting smile.
だからお互い様っつうが愛子ってことでよしとしようぜ。
Even?
ああ、互いに江戸っ子だろ。ぐじぐじ悩まないで水に流そうぜ。やっぱ千鶴ちゃんには笑顔の方が似合うな。
Huh? Really?
ああ、その笑顔が見られて俺も肩の荷が下りたぜ。
Nagakura was flattering me so much that I too had immediately begun to feel better from our talk. Being able to speak so openly about that day's events was a huge load off my chest.
さて、千鶴ちゃんはみんなのところに戻って少しは寝ろよ。俺はもう少しここで頭を冷やしていくからさ。
Okay, just make sure to return as soon as you can, okay? Just as I was turning around to head back towards the troop... Round 2. Nagakura? Nagakura?
Oh shit.
Was he experiencing bloodlust? His pain seemed exponentially worse than the last time it happened, and he began to grind his teeth out of sheer desperation.
いや、なんでもねえんだ。俺のこ
That's
とは
called diarrhea.
早く言ってくれ。
What? What?
What?
What the fuck, man? What the fuck? Why?
Let's go. Let's go.
It's not!
What do you mean? This thing is teeth.
Eh?
What do you mean it's not diarrhea?
It's not, sir.
Hmm.
It's not.
Okay.
Please, toss me a quack.
Yes, I'm going. It's a quack. It's a quack.
Perfect. Stop! Too many quacks! There was too many ducks. Oh god, more ducks. Where are they coming from?
I don't know, they're just invading.
Ah!
Dog down! Here comes the duck!
Okay, stop! Stop. Okay, too many ducks. I'm dying.
That's what.
The words were practically spilling from his mouth as his hair and eyes suddenly changed color. What should I do? Here's what I've learned. The answer is give him blood every time for the perfect ending. Yep, duck.
Yes, duck. He agrees, the duck.
I can't just leave you like this. I can't just walk away while you're suffering in agony.
I can. Nah. Oh shit.
Without a second thought, I unsheathed my kodachi. You can't afford anyone else seeing you like this, right? Then you have to drink my blood.
ダメだ。女の子がそんなことしちゃ。それに血を飲んだら俺は本当の羅刹に。
Please, just take my blood. You stubborn fucking boy.
Yeah.
I turned the duck.
The duck agrees. The duck agrees.
I turned around, my back facing Nagakura, and slit the coiled, sharp edge along the length of my neck. That is a horrifying sight to think about.
Yeah. The fucking mosquito! Nah. You escaped him.
Eventually, I felt the presence of Nagakura's face slowly approach my open wound, and I shivered. A chilly gust of wind grazed my skin, followed by the sensation of Nagakura's eager breath.
本当にすまねえ。
His tongue began to trace the shape upon my flesh reluctantly, licking the streams of blood dripping from the cut on along my carotid artery?
Carotid artery. Yes. I was so specific. Did you know the back in time that was the carotid artery?
It's so specific.
Yes.
Damn. I think yesterday we had solar plexus as the specific word.
Yeah. But still, you can use that the time.
It's so perfect. Please, don't worry. My cut will heal itself in no time, so please, don't hold back. My message must have gotten through to Nagakura, whose tongue started to race nimbly across my skin. Nagakura was determined not to give in to these insatiable cravings, given his hatred of Furies, but that he was compelled to do so, and that I gave him an outlet to satisfy them, conflicted him greatly. For myself, however, I was comforted by the notion that I could help Nagakura soothe his pain, even if it were just a little bit. I will shed every last drop of blood that he needs. After some time had passed, Nagakura's condition seemed to stabilize, and his hair and eyes were returned to the normal color. Oh, it's over.
Shit.
Since no one had discovered either of us during the onset of his seizure, it seemed luck played into our hand, and his secret was kept relatively safe.
すまねえな。みっともないところを見せちまって。
Please, I'm thinking nothing of the sort. It pains me to see you suffer so terribly. Back when we were in Fushimi, when the two of us had encountered my father, it was you who saved me. So this time, Duck wanted to be the one to save you.
Yes.
All I think about is how I can ease that which hurts you because of this duck that's in the way.
いいんだよ。女の子を守るのは俺たちの仕事ってい
Freaking
うか。
dogs.
Yeah, they're
男のように
invading.
スキルだろ。俺はさ、千鶴ちゃんを助けることができたことを嬉しく思ってるんだ。だからそこまで気にする必要はねえよ。
But then again, to save me, you had to become a... I intentionally cut myself short, realizing that I'd just be reminding him of the trauma related to his affliction. Nagakura picked up on this awkward pause and proceeded to speak with me warmly in a kind, hushed tone.
千鶴ちゃんは俺の妹分なんだぜ。兄が妹を助けるのは当たり前だろ。
Man is still in denial.
Yeah.
I want to see at what point he realizes he actually likes Chizuru. I can't wait for that point.
Yeah. Even the duck are crazy.
まあ、妹じゃなくても助けたっていうか。
Oh! Huh? If I weren't like a sister to you?
Oh,
Oh shit is right.
ああ、妹じゃなくても、いや、妹以上っていうかその。
I think he's starting to realize. Stop! Too many ducks!
oh
Too many
shit.
ducks! Stop it! I know, ducks! I know, you're excited. We're getting there. We're getting there, buddies.
Shut the fuck up now.
Since we had made our first acquaintance in Kyoto, Nagakura had seemed like something of a guardian to me. Does that mean... I had mustered the courage to ask him to clarify what he had meant, but just as the words were about to leave my mouth... Hisuke!
おうおう、ここだぜ。
Damn! The moment is ruined.
Motherfucker. Yeah.
Emerging from the darkness was Heisuke, who was guided by Nagakura's boisterous response.
大変なんだ。すぐに戻ってくれ。甲府城が敵に取られたらしい。
Sorry, I'm gonna say this for a second. Heisuke cut his hair!
Wait, really?
Yeah!
Oh shit. It looks like it's too.
Eh?
Yeah, like a high school student. He does look like.
Well, that's because, well, one, he's short, and two, he's like 22?
Oh fuck! 22. That's short. Nah, I'm joking.
I'm not short, and I'm 27. I'm shorter than him. Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what? Fuck. I wish we had seen Heisuke with his hair down and not tied up before he cut it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh.
Look. I have to say it. If you have a character with long hair and it's tied up, you must, at least at one point, show them with their hair down.
Yes.
It's a rule.
But no.
なんだと
They say no.
わかったすぐに行く
Oh, too much hassle. Never mind.
Just show us with their hair down, damn it. I want to see how long it actually is. Nagakura and Heisuke nodded at one another, and together they sprinted back towards our camp. In a fit of panic, I rushed after them. Here we go. Eh?
I use the don't leave the bookers. Wait for me.
Wait for me! Back at our camp, all of the captains were gathered in a circle, heatedly discussing their next move. Kai Shimada was tasked with retrieving Kondo and Hijikata-san. Left for retrieving Kondo-san, and Hijikata-san left for Yokohama to acquire reinforcements. Heisuke and Sanan-san, on the other hand, were ordered to scout the vicinity of Kofu Castle to gather more intelligence on the status of the imperial occupation. Thus, the remaining captains were tasked with the duty of mobilizing their soldiers to march onwards to Kofu Castle. Unfortunately, their efforts were somewhat nullified by the presence of the imperial army surrounding the castle's perimeter. A predicament soured when Heisuke and Sanan-san's scouting alerted the enemy to our impending arrival.
Damn.
Thus, they awaited us at the gate, armed and ready. Yeah, ducks. Yep. As if our luck hadn't yet expired, fate took an even worse turn. By the time of our arrival in Kofu, our force, once 200 strong, had dwindled to half the amount, and we were left with just over 100 soldiers. News of Kofu Castle's occupation by the enemy raced through our ranks like wildfire, prompting some to flee dishonorably away from our convoy. Nagakura, who placed his hand on his brow to gaze at the castle in the distance, was growing agitated.
これっぽっちの装備じゃ白染めになりゃしねえ撤退だな
こっちの大使も半分が逃げちまってるし仕方がね
According to Nagakura, laying siege to a castle required nearly double the forces of your opponent, which made our chances of victory even slimmer. Just as the discussion of our retreat was circulating amongst the men, a rumble towards the back line caught the attention of a visibly flustered Nagakura. To our surprise, a small platoon of our men was setting up the encampment atop a raised hill that overlooked the castle.
おいおいこいつはどういうことだよ誰がここに陣を張れって言ったんだ
Nagakura barged into their camp, barking madly at them until he bumped into Kodo-san, who had returned from Tama without our notice.
これから戦をするというのに陣がなくては話にならんだろう
待ってくれ近藤さんこのまま城攻めを始める気か
ああ幕府から任されてきているんだぞこのまま何もせずにおめおめと引き返すわけにはいかないだろう
こっちは100人しかいねえんだぞそれに武器だって城攻めには足りなすぎる
Yeah, 100 men to take a whole ass castle. that is filled with the enemy.
How big is the castle? I don't know. It's
It's a
fucking
castle.
big.
長倉君臆したのかね。
ふざけんな。鳥羽伏見の知らねえあんたが戦を語ってるんじゃねえよ。
とにかくこのまま退陣する。いつでも戦える準備をしておいてくれ。
In spite of Nagakura's warning about our terrible odds, Kondo-san insisted on continuing the siege.
困ったもんだぜ。どうにかして近藤さんを説得しねえと。
土方さんが援軍を呼んでくるって言っちまったけどよ。間に合うのか。
Much to our dismay, our movements were seemingly detected by the Imperial Army. From afar, we could make out a formation of troops making their gradual march towards our base of operations. Our time to prepare had been drastically reduced, meaning we had mere moments before war broke out. Ah! Shit, that scared me! Just then, a gunshot echoed from somewhere in our ranks. Quack.
今撃ったのはどいつだ。
Nagakura howled frantically out of panic towards our men lined along the ridge side. But it was futile. If our battle was a powder keg, the gunshot was the spark. In no time, showers of gunfire went off on both sides. Nagakura Harada... Stop the ducks! Please!
Oh shit.
Too many ducks. Nagakura, Harada, and Saito-san all led their divisions, just as swiftly and confidently as in their Kyoto days, charging forward with a ferocious vigor. Heisuke and Sanan-san bravely came to their aid, rushing with their comrades into enemy territory. I stood with Kondo-san in the back line, watching our friends fighting in the distance worriedly. The Imperial Army's tactics were no different during Toba Fushimi. Cannons lined side by side, unleashing alternating waves of to decimate our men. Although this time we, too, had our own cannons and artillery forces. I had a terrible feeling about what was to come. My stomach dropped as my worst fears were realized when Kondo-san and I watched the bodies of our allies topple in succession, piling lifelessly to the floor. Ground, damn it! Ground, not floor! There is no floor! This is outside!
Damn.
Witnessing the carnage of our allies dying, the ash and gunpowder stinging my eyes and nose, was brutal to the point that Kondo-san began to shout.
This was
大砲は何だという
that
のだ。こっちも大砲で反撃だ。
無理です。大砲を扱える大使がいません。
いないとはどういうことかね。
昨晩のうちに逃げてしまったようで。
ということだ。では、全員抜刀。これから切り込みをかける。
Kondo, you madman! Kondo-san had his fingers wrapped around the hilt of his blade when Saito-san suddenly emerged.
局長、お待ちください。
おお、斉藤君か。今から切り込みを開始するぞ。
それで敵の部隊の中にどうやら羅刹兵が混じっているようです。
Kondo-san's brow furrowed nervously, and he paused for a moment while he stroked his chin in light of Saito-san's news.
そんなバカな。なぜ敵に羅刹が。見間違いじゃないのか。
見間違いじゃないぜ。俺も最前線で敵の羅刹と戦ってきた。この戦はもうダメだ。撤退しよう、近藤さん。
Nagakura sprinted over the hill, his muscular body filthy with layers of soot and blood.
タイだと
Next, it was Harada who returned from the battlefield, and he too spoke up in objection to Kondo.
近藤さん、撤退は恥じゃねえ。今は引いて体勢を立て直すのが先決だ。
いや戦はこのまま続ける。
敵にはラセスが混じってるんだぞ。どうするんだよ。
相手がラセス兵ならこちらもラセスで対応するまで。長倉君、止めてきてくれ。ラセスにはやはりラセスでなくては。
ちょっと待ってくれ。つまり近藤さんは俺がラセツだからラセツの相手をしろっていうのか。
そうは言っていない。だが普通の人間ではラセスの相手などできないだろう。
Kondo-san's suggestion was awkwardly heavy-handed, almost excruciatingly so. I watched Nagakura grit his teeth angrily in response. His eyes shifted up and down Kondo-san's figure, and then he spoke curtly.
分かって望み通り戦ってきてやるさ。
Nagakura could have just yelled at Kondo because he hates the fact that he's a Fury and being called a Fury. What are you planning? What are you planning? I'm scared.
けどな、俺は前線の大使たちを助けるために戦うんだからな。約束してくれ。俺が戦っている間に撤退するぞ。
近藤さん、頼む。新八の言う通り撤退の命令を出してくれ。このままじゃ皆殺しになっちまう。
Both Nagakura and Harada were staring down Kondo-san, closing in on him until he relented. Wah!
He lived.
Oh.
He couldn't handle the attack.
撤退する。
Was he muted the entire time, or...?
Yes. he
Okay.
was.
Did he know he was muted the entire time?
I don't know.
こ
I
う
was
に決めせ。
confessing.
よし、
He lived.
撤退だ。撤退準備を始めろ。
As soon as Harada announced the retreat, our men rushed back, zigzagging through the battlefield with their hands covering the tops of their heads. Nagakura stood silently, wearing a forlorn expression as he turned his eyes towards me from the field.
千鶴ちゃん、近藤さんと一緒に先に行ってくれ。
But you're staying back to fight, aren't you, Nagakura?
大丈夫。俺はラセツだから簡単に死なねえさ。
I didn't want to worry Nagakura for a second longer. Okay, I'll go on ahead, but promise me that you'll come back.
ああ、約束する。
Nagakura gave a big nod, then spun around on his heel before running towards the front line.
ヘルスケ、行くぞ。
ああ、手が鳴るぜ。
Go, boys, go!